quality of movies is kind of getting lower and lower to the point where nobody's really putting out anything super original that we're dying to see. So what's the point of going to the movie theater anymore? Hi y'all, SnarkyJay cosplay here. So in recent movie news, Ryan Gosling's new movie, The Fall Guy, has proven to be 100% true to its name because it has fallen from the box office harder than any recent movie we've seen. The Fall Guy is ending its theater run after only 17 days, which feels a lot more like an antibiotic cycle than a theater run for a major motion picture. Which is pretty crazy when you think about it. The Fall Guy was supposed to be the action flick to kick off the summer blockbuster season for 2024. The Fall Guy has only made $128 million worldwide, up against a budget estimated to be between $125 million and $150 million, which means that it has not even broke even and most likely never will. I feel like this is nuts. I mean, this movie clearly was destined for greatness. It stars Ryan Gosling, who the internet is irresponsibly in love with. The trailers painted a picture of a movie filled with non-stop action explosions and one-liners, which feels like the perfect summer popcorn flick. And it was based on a very classic TV show from the 80s, so what exactly went wrong with The Fall Guy? That's what we're gonna get into in this video. To put it simply, cinema isn't to the public what it once was. On the one hand, basing movies on old IPs does not always mean instant success. It could mean that people are comparing the new to the beloved old, and therefore it's never gonna succeed like the old one did. Think the new Roadhouse movie starring Jake Gyllenhaal, or all the backlash that Lionsgate has faced for absolutely desecrating the legacy of The Crow. But that's not really what happened here. I think what happened here is that The Fall Guy is an old IP that nobody really gives a shit about. If my dad had not told me that The Fall Guy was based on a TV show from 1981 that ran for 5 seasons called The Fall Guy, I would think it was just another generic blockbuster. And we're gonna get into the whole generic blockbuster thing in a minute, but I asked my mom if she had seen The Fall Guy, and it took her 6 seconds to even remember what the that show was. So we're not exactly talking about some beloved, nationwide renowned TV series. It didn't have that kind of relevance, so it really didn't matter that it was based on anything old. No, if we analyze box office earnings, the theater industry basically never really recovered from COVID. Right now, everything is more expensive. Gas prices are through the roof, groceries are seeing incredible amounts of inflation, and money just isn't stretching as far as it used to because while everything is getting more expensive, nobody's actually getting paid more. So to fork over, let's say, $16 per movie ticket, it's gotta be something good. And people are willing to do it. I mean, look at last summer. People were digging up blazers to go watch Oppenheimer, and every man I knew had managed to find one pink polo at the back of his closet to be able to go watch Barbie dressed in pink. And those were 2 big event movies. If you weren't watching Barbie or Oppenheimer, you were basically exempt from this big societal thing that everybody was talking about. You had to see them if you wanted to be part of the conversation. And that's my next point, that because the theater is so expensive, because it's so easy to stream things or pirate them for even cheaper than it is to go see them in movies, it takes something big for people to want to leave their houses and pay to go watch something in a movie theater. And event films like that are really few and far between. Most recently, event movies like that, besides Barbie and Oppenheimer, have been tied to other IPs. Think Dune and Dune 2. Those were big event movies. Other ones could include DC's The Batman in 2022, Avengers Endgame in 2019, or any of the recent Star Wars trilogy. And even properties like Star Wars, Marvel, and DC are struggling to put out event films that make big bucks in recent years. Just look at failures like Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania and The Marvels for Marvel, and DC with The Flash and Aquaman Man 2, all of those show that even big IPs like that were once guaranteed moneymakers are struggling to bring in the big bucks that they brought in before COVID. Of course, we can also chalk this up to a change in quality, but that's not what this video is about. The Fall Guy is not an event movie, and that's probably its third and biggest issue. Yes, it stars Ryan Gosling, and we all love Ryan Gosling. Yes, it looks like a great popcorn flick with action, explosions, one-liners, lots of fun for everybody to enjoy, but that's just the thing, is that it looks like any other summer blockbuster. It looks like any other action flick. It looks like the kind of movie that on a Saturday evening when you're settling in to pay your credit cards or knit or something, you might settle on it and go, I'll give this a try. It's not the kind of movie that you're willing to fork over $18 a ticket for you and Bae to go check out this movie. Doesn't have that kind of pull. And again, it's not like Barbie or Oppenheimer where you might have chosen to not watch it on opening weekend, and when you went into the office, everybody was talking about it and you were the one left out. I promise you, nobody is talking about The Fall Guy because nobody f***ing saw it. I didn't get invited to an early screening, and I said exactly what I said earlier. I'm not gonna fork over $18 a ticket for this. My dad loved the original show, and even he wasn't willing to pay the money to go watch this. And that, ladies and gentlemen, says a lot about where the future of cinema is going. It's getting easier and easier for us to stay at home. Everything is getting more and more expensive, and the quality of movies is kind of getting lower and lower to the point where nobody's really putting out anything super original that we're dying to see. So what's the point of going to the movie theater anymore? I can't say that I'm entirely surprised to see this movie failing that hard. It didn't seem unique enough to stand against the wave of nonsense that we're being faced with. We're asking for better and different content, but this just seemed like a rehashing of everything we saw before that we got tired of, and that's why we're where we're at now. I'm definitely curious to see if people were just unwilling to pay for it, but they do still have a desire for that sort of content. I guess we'll see what happens with that. That's all from me. I've been SnarkyJay. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. For more SnarkyJay, catch me on Twitch from 6 to 8 p.m. EST every Tuesday and Thursday. You can also check me out on Instagram, and if you'd like to support me, this channel, and my content creation, do check out and consider subscribing to my Patreon for exclusive photo shoot sets and content. I will add links to all of those in the description below, and let me know your thoughts on The Fall Guy's big failure in the comments below.